Morning, boys and girls, and welcome to probably the oldest streamer in the world. And welcome to Remnant from the Ashes, a action RPG that I got on the Epic launcher. So it's not on Steam, at least not for me. It is a game from a small developer whose name I don't remember, but it's quite a success. They sold a lot of copies, and it's become a very popular game, as far as I understand it. And it is a good game. It is a fun game. So I was thinking I was gonna show it to you, if you're not familiar with it, if you haven't seen it before. So it's basically a first-person shooter, an FPS game where you move around and you aim. You have two weapons, a long and a short, like a pistol and a rifle, you might call it. And you have your character, it has hit points, but what's a bit different from many other uh, shooters or FPSs, first person shooter, is that you have actually quite a few stats. Like crit and you have resistances and an armor weight, and you have a character where you can equip different gear. I don't have an amulet, but you can have. Sorry about that. What happened? Oh, gee, my tech setup is not the most professional in the world. Sorry about that. Oh, there you go. A little web camera. Let's take it. Oh, and sorry about that. Yeah, it's the space. You have a helmet and torso and breeches, pants like boots. You have two rings. You have a melee weapon and, as I said, a long gun and a handgun. You have an inventory where you can have different consumables and bandages and dots. No, that's not what it's called. Pots. Like you have traits which are kind of like skills. As you level up with experience, you can pick different traits, which gives you a lot of very important bonuses. Um, there's a story to the game that you're a survivor of a apocalypse in the world. There seems to be a interdimensional evil called the Root, the Root, that has invaded. I didn't pay much attention on my first playthrough, to be honest, but so you're supposed to protect the world. You're the unnamed, unsung hero that arrives at the base. At first, people are very suspicious. There's a couple of NPCs in the base where you can trade with them. You can craft stuff. You can upgrade stuff. So, for example, you see the +5 here. You can upgrade. So this one doesn't have any plus, so it's a level 1 weapon, whereas this has a 5 plus, so it's a hunting rifle +5, which means it gets more powerful. Also, you can equip a mod on each weapon. That is basically a weapon skill. So I don't have a lot to choose from because this is quite a low level and new character, and that is because I am playing. Where does it say? You can also play this game in hardcore mode, which means if your character dies, it dies and it's gone forever. Uh, there are 4 different difficulty levels, and once you progressed and learned how to play the game, the normal difficult level is quite easy when it comes to like regular adventuring, but the bosses are always a challenge, almost no matter what difficulty level you're playing at. So you can play the campaign and follow the story. I wouldn't, I can't tell you if it's 10, 15, 20 hours to play it through, but since it's more of an RPG, you're supposed to play through certain chapters more than once, or even the campaign more than once. There is also something called adventure mode, which means you just play a few parts that are kind of randomized, and you get a random boss, a random event, and a random merchant. So you got campaign, adventure, and then in an downloadable content DLC add-on, they introduced survival mode, which is kind of a wave game where you run through as fast as you can and just try to survive, but you will die. So what I am playing now is a hardcore campaign, but I am currently, oh, stupid cameras. So I'm too weak to go for the first boss. Here are the biomes. It's desert, it is marsh or swamp, it's winter, which is from the second or first DLC. There's two add-ons DLCs. Yaesha is the jungle part, and you start in Earth, which is kind of a city with these rot forest barky tree creatures that you fight. We're gonna create a new one, and of course I am not playing on hard nightmare apocalypse difficulty. I am playing on normal, and we'll see what happens in the adventure. And I'll just travel to the city, and there we go from there. Yeah, camera kind of slanted here. I'll put this video up on YouTube a bit later, and if you like it, you can subscribe or follow on Twitch and on YouTube. I do not plan on doing a lot of gameplay videos on with Remnant. This is basically as a first impression to show you the game, because it's a game I've been playing quite a lot with a friend of mine that I play a lot of games with, and we enjoy it. So the graphics are gorgeous. The movement is over the shoulder. I don't think you can go into first person. You see here I switch weapons between my long rifle and my pistol, and you have to press the right mouse button to aim. You can sprint with shift. You can roll, and depending on how heavy your armor is, you actually roll slower or not at all. If you have super heavy, you can do a static dodge, which is I hear efficient. It's hard to use though. So that is all good and well. You have ammunition, the little brains down or hearts down to the right, where there's a 3, are your lives, so your heals. So as you can see, even though I don't quite aim at the enemy, I get a hit indicator. So I don't know how to say it, but it's not an aim assist per se, but you definitely, so that's a headshot. You get the damage numbers like in an RPG. But this game, it's easier to aim. There's a little bit of how my reticle is moving around from standing. I don't know if I sit down. Yeah, it's a bit less. I haven't really. Okay, so crouching actually improves your aim. Oh, that's good to know. But I do feel that there isn't really any PvP in this game, so it doesn't have to be fair or like hardcore. So the game kind of helps you. Also, this might be because it's supposed to work well with playing on consoles. I really don't know, but if you expect, the challenge is not in making hits and shots. It's quite forgiving in that perspective, I feel. What is hard though is that the creatures will swamp you and spawn behind you, and they might overwhelm you if you're not careful. If you play on a difficulty that's harder than you can manage, or yeah. Okay, so that's a semi boss there. Well, let's take care of him. That's a good shot. See. Oh, now I have to reload. Oh, I'm gonna use my, of course, this is one of my weapon mods. Let's call it, yeah, it's a weapon mod, but let's call it a skill. Like that. So I get a dog that helps me. Trusty friend. So weapon mods, you can have 2. And they have durability, no, sorry. They have range, and they have, and you can improve their effectiveness and how often you can use them with different traits. You just have to pick where you want to put your trade points first. So there is quite a lot of character building in this game, which is a part that I enjoy a lot. Alright, up on the right hand corner by the minimap you can see hardcore. So that means if I die, my character is gone. I have to restart. The entire game is... all my progress is lost. So I should be careful. It's very easy actually to, you know, die. Okay, my dog is cleaning out this place. So we'll go into the house now and try to find chest. That sound you heard, that is like a mini encounter boss fight developing. So I need to be... oh! Okay. Okay. I don't know. Let's call out another dog. So I had the option of reusing it because it's been a while. He takes off. It's a very strong mod, and also if you play this in, should I call it vanilla mode? You know, without, if I die I just restart in the base and my character doesn't die. And if I find that dog weapon mod upgrade, I can keep it and I can use it on any character I create. So actually when I started this character I had that dog mod available, and as you can see he just runs around and kills NPCs, and he's fairly strong on this level. He scales with how much I upgrade my weapons. Although to be fair, I'm not 100% sure that I gain experience points from him killing stuff. Also, when he sits down, I can pet him on the head, and I read somewhere that you'll get a very small health buff, health regeneration buff, so that I slowly regain health. Unless you have a potion going or use a heart. Oh, my dog disappeared. So we can check the, I think it's no, it's 78 seconds. That might be improved by some skill or trait I have. I think this might be 60 seconds. Anyway, and you can crush a lot of items around in the world, and they can drop crafting materials, iron, and they can drop what is called scraps, as you see I picked up there, which is the in-game currency that you use to upgrade and buy items from the merchants, NPC merchants in the base. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of MMO-ish, RPG-ish stuff going on in this game, which is definitely a must for me to make the game attractive. If this was only a first-person shooter where you basically just kill the creatures and run around and try to clear the levels, it would not have much of an appeal. Not that the gameplay is bad. The gameplay is it's fun, it's great, it's good. But what makes this game stand out is the action RPG part of it, that you improve your character, you can do different builds, because obviously different items will have synergies with each other. For example, my Sage Stone, the green ring here, it gives me 30% more experience. I'm very happy I found that, because yeah, obviously I'm gonna increase in levels and get new traits 30% faster. The Ring of Supremacy gives me, if I'm at full health, I get 20% extra damage on melee and range, so that's a very strong ring. That's another item I managed to get in hardcore mode, which will follow all my characters around. And now we're gonna enter an instance, which is like a separate loading screen where I go into. So you could play a long range, high critical hit, high damage, glass cannon, squishy character that, and you can play it along with four people can play together. So if you can healer, support characters, kind of hard, but you can definitely play what is called a tank, someone with high armor, high defensive capabilities. Maybe you don't do quite as much damage as everyone else, but you can take a lot of more damage. I would recommend anyone playing on hardcore mode to go for defensibility or survivability, because it doesn't really matter if you kill everything a bit slower on but on hardcore you don't want to die because you lose your character. Okay, there's some an item there, a blue or purple item, which means I think that's a trait book, which is a free trait level that you just pick that up and you gain. Well, so it would be 1500 experience, because now I need. Oh, I think I just got XP from the dog killing a monster there. That's great. So let's go pick that up, and I go from trait rank 33, and when I pick that up, I all of a sudden have trait rank. Well, at least I have 1 point available. I'm gonna put that into experience gain 20%, which means I have a total of 50% experience gain, and now I'm trait rank 34. So you might call this the level of your character in game. That squishy mushroom creature has a cloud of rot, so that infects you and actually is quite harmful to you, very dangerous. But different armors protect different well against different. So my total rot armor is only 2. So I need to be careful with that. The smoke those mushrooms create. Right, there's another one. I want to kill it as fast as possible because it hurts the dog. Of course. Ooh, okay. So yeah, we're gonna let the dog clear out this area. This means. All right. Okay, here's a chest. Let's clear that. Can I shoot through the fence? Yeah, I could. Okay, when you get a bit close. Woohoo! Okay, I'm getting nervous here. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, let's go melee. Oh! Okay. Somehow that... Okay, I'm gonna... Sorry. Yeah, I got a lot of rots there. That statue, the red statue you saw over there, no, it did not activate. That's strange. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the ammo and stuff here. I'll explain more about that later. The red are long gun ammo. The white ones are handgun ammo. The yellow ones are scrap, i.e. money, or iron. So now I have to defeat an archer, kind of semi-boss. You can see the health bar. There he is. And I don't want to get hit. Okay, there he goes. That is kind of a prelude to the boss. It's a good thing I one-shot these creatures. Sorry, I have a little bit difficulty talking and explaining at the same time. But we're doing okay here. So that was the first part of this tunnel. That tells me that at the end of this tunnel there's gonna be the archer boss. I think his name is Shroud, is that it? But since this is adventure, I don't have to fight him if I don't want to. He is I might defeat him, I might not. But if I die, I want to be strong enough to progress. Okay, here's the purple. That's an item. So that's a ring or an amulet. There's always one trait book, or there's always one ring. No, there's always one item, and there's always one trait book on each level that you play. So now we found both the trait book and the item. So this could be a copy of an item I already found. It's the Aggressor's Bane, and let's see what that is. That is It reduces incoming damage by 15%. Oh, that's good, great one. That's a really, really good one. I take 15% less damage. Here's a machine gunner monster, kind of like a semi-boss. I don't know, powerful NPC. Hey, he's not. Jesus, the music is. Okay, the dog survived that. All right. As I said, it can get quite hectic and chaotic. I was under the impression I had definitely turned off. I have not turned off the music in the game, so there we go. Alright, so let's see what's happening here. That's iron that I need for upgrading. So the dog, I don't like that he, sometimes he rushes back to me and I think it's an enemy and I shoot him. Ah, it's not the end of the world. I can just make a new dog. Oh, this is not a very good song. I'm just gonna fast forward from my web music app. Oh, thank you very much. That's enough of you. Okay. So, okay, sorry about that. The Aggressor's Bane actually gives me incoming damage 15% less. But the enemy aggression is increased and they get more aware. But I don't care about that because I am the only... Since I am the only... I'm not playing with a friend. What do I care? I'm not gonna aggro me anyways. So I don't think that's really much of a negative here when you play solo mode. But am I gonna use it over the 20% damage output? That's a good question. Well, let's try out with 15% less damage. See if I one-shot the monsters. If I still one-shot them without 20% damage bonus. So here you see what's fun with the game. You find new items, and at the end you have a whole lot of different ones, and you kind of get to build and design your character. Okay, here comes the monsters. I am still one-shotting them. At least these little pedestrian balls. For me, these are... I don't know. I can't explain. They are monsters. They are from the root, and the root has taken place everywhere on Earth and killed all life on Earth. And there are still humans that are bandits, so it's kind of Mad Max, apocalyptic. Okay, I wonder if... Ooh, and another machine gunner. Yeah, to be honest, I don't care so much. The machine gunners are... They look fearsome, but they're not that... They're one of the easier, because you just wait until they reload, and then you advance on them and take their hit points down. Alright. Oh, you can shift your shoulder. So I'm gonna start. Let's see where he pops up. He pops up. This one is a bit scary. This guy. Okay. He hit me, but I did not get a bleed. Oops. Yeah, and I have a laser sword. Okay. Okay. So many enemies, and yeah, okay. So I just popped my pistol weapon mod, which is a heal. So if I stand this cloud, I regain all my health. It puts a little bit of extra nerve into the game when you play on hardcore, because you know, this should be easy enough. But if you make enough mistakes, you can die. It would be very silly. I would feel very ridiculous. But stranger things have happened. So what I like about the game, and I guess you should like about the game, is that it's not the hardest game I ever played, but it is it's challenging enough, and of course you can increase the difficulty level. Okay, there's the archer again. Uh, or I think that was a world NPC, not the archer created by attacking the statue. I call them statues, but there's three of them, like avatars of the big bad archer boss at the end of the tunnel of the instance archer. And here comes, those are the ones that I really should be scared of, because if I get enough rot, um, yeah, and the weapon I've chosen is called the hunting rifle, and it's pretty good. It's semi-automatic. It has 10 shots in the magazine. It does a decent amount of damage. You can buy it in the base from start. So that's, I haven't really found another gun that I like better or worse, but it's a good gun. I have to give the game that they have balanced the weapons very well. Uh, I don't feel like one weapon is so much superior to another, that even if you find it later in the game and it's kind of cooler and has a lot of lasers and colors, and so even the starter guns, if you upgrade them, okay, I am now bleeding, so I'll have to take a bandage. So that stops the bleeding, because bleeding gives you damage over time, a so-called dot, and it also halves your healing. And now I change over to the pistol and I do a heal. And now I don't have any heals left. You can have 2 from start. Sorry about the camera. It's moving all over the place today. There we go. Oh, sit still, camera. I have a little piece of scotch tape on my keyboard, and that's where the camera is supposed to sit. Very advanced setup. So anyway, I have to do damage, I suppose, to regain mod power. You see that white circle around the blinking pluses, but I do, yeah, I have the cultist breaches, which mod power is generated slowly over time, so I get some mod power back even if I don't fight. So there are synergies to these different armor sets that you have. Like if I use the scrapper body plate for all 3 slots, it will give me more damage. Like 1, 2, 3 pieces gives 7.5, 15, and 30% damage. So usually it's very good to use all 3 pieces. That gives you the highest benefit. But as I'm set up now, I have lower but many more different 3 different advantages that I get from my setup. It's basically a setup I have to run around and do these adventures. I get some extra scraps, I get some mod power back, and I wear the scrapper's body plate because it receives 15% less damage from enemies within 5 meters. So any melee close range attacker, which is most, give me less damage. So in total, okay, let's examine here. Well, this is weird. It says I have 0% melee and range damage reduction, whereas this ring gives me 15 and this gives me 15. So why isn't it 30 here? That's a good question, isn't it? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe that doesn't work so well. Well, you can see the damage the hunting rifle and the repeat pistol does, and the sword, etc., etc. Okay, so that's one full dungeon, you might call it. Just gonna have to see. So that's of Remnant, and now we'll go back to base, and I'll show you the merchants and the upgrade options, and what weapons there are. So I made a new ring, I made a free trade points, I gained some experience, and these checkpoints are teleport points around that you can go back and forth to the base. So I'll return to Ward 13, which is the base. Hello, viewer. It's a good game, Remnant. I enjoy it. I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. They've released 2 updates, and they're not gonna update more, but I still enjoy it. So go try it out, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye, boys and girls.